Welcome back, guys. This is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews. Today we are going to talk about this product behind me, which is the Dolphin Elliptical by YoSuda. Now, YoSuda is a California-based company that mainly focuses on bikes. However, they are entering in a lot of cardio equipment to their repertoire, including this Dolphin Elliptical, which is their new release. Now, is this my favorite elliptical I've ever used? Definitely not. But we are going to draw a couple comparisons to the Nordic Track Air Glider 14i and then the Soul E25 elliptical. And it has been a while since I've talked about an elliptical. And honestly, I forgot how smooth they are. So if you are somebody who is wanting to add more cardio to your home gym space, more cardio to just kind of your overall training, your overall programming, I mean, ellipticals are so easy on your joints and they really do get your heart rate up, including this Dolphin Elliptical, because it has 3 different modes. In those 3 different modes, it has 4 different programming levels. We're going to talk all about that, but first, make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you can continue to see videos just like this one. Also, if you want to go ahead and purchase this, use the link below the like button, and when you use that link below the like button, make sure to like this video. Lastly, this was sent to us by the company. However, this is an honest, transparent reviews like all of my reviews. So again, the company sent it to us, but I will be honest and tell you the truth of exactly my thoughts on this Dolphin Elliptical by YoSuda. Now, this elliptical costs $1,699. Comparing that to something like the Nordic Track, which is a couple $100 less, or the E25, which is like $400 less, I thought, is this going to be better than those ellipticals? Like, is that extra cost worth it? For me, there's a couple different things that you have to consider. One, the Nordic Track Air Glide is going to come with a monthly subscription cost. So in order to use any of the programmings on that elliptical, you're gonna have that $39.99 monthly cost to use the programmings. Whereas with the YoSuda, you don't have any sort of subscription or monthly fee in order to use all the programmings on it. With the E25, it's kind of a mix of both. You can go ahead and use programming on Soul's app, or you can go ahead and use programs on the elliptical itself. But again, that's the more expensive option out of all the 3. With this, it does come with a 32% resistance profile. Now, to be honest, I think that the Nordic Track resistance profile shows up a little bit better. Even though on the Nordic Track, the resistance doesn't go as high, I feel like they're actually comparable. So for me, it's kind of like an even bag. I mean, 32% resistance, it seems really nice on paper. However, I feel like it just didn't totally deliver. In order to change the resistance, there's 2 different ways you can do it, which I really like whenever ellipticals have like resistance and incline on the handlebars itself, just making it super easy to go ahead and change both of those. Or you can go ahead and change the resistance profile using the buttons below the screen. Now, this comes with a 20-inch stride length. This is great for users who are taller. Whenever we're looking at ellipticals, we at least like to see like an 18-inch to a 20-inch stride length. If you are taller than 5'7", this is going to be a great stride length for you. However, people who are shorter, like, don't count them out, because I am 5'4" and I still felt like I was able to use this. It wasn't like the stride length felt too long, but having that 20-inch stride length, again, 5'7" to like 6'7" is a really good sweet spot for those people. One thing I really liked about this is it has 4 rails on the bottom, making it like completely smooth, completely durable, completely stable. There are other ellipticals that we have tested that only use like 1 guide rail or maybe 2, and you can just kind of feel the shake within the machine. This is a solid machine. Now, it is heavy, but it does come with a handlebar on the back and then wheels on the front. So moving it around actually wasn't that bad. We tested it on turf, we tested it on gym floor, and really, even though it does feel heavy, I think most people will still be able to move it around from room to room. Now, the Dolphin does come with Bluetooth capability, so you can go ahead and connect a heart rate monitor or check your heart rate on the device itself. You can also connect your phone through the Bluetooth, go ahead and use the speakers. However, I would not do that. Like, these speakers are so bad. Like, I would just go ahead, put my headphones in instead and just not even connect it to that, because it just was really bad quality. Like, the sound was crunchy and it wasn't very loud. And also, there was no way to control the volume on the actual machine. It all had to be controlled from your phone, which is fine. It's just different than what we see with other ellipticals who will allow you to change the volume directly from the machine. I will also say the fan is pretty bad. Like, I turned it to a couple different levels, and the first 2 levels, I didn't even notice that it was blowing air to me unless I held my hand exactly to where the fan was. So again, I would just call the fan a wash. I wouldn't use it. I would drag in a big fan from Walmart or Costco, wherever, if you are hot in your home gym while using it, because the fan provided absolutely nothing. The construction on this is steel. It didn't say what type of steel that it used on this. However, again, it was durable. It was solid. I do feel like it's a solidly constructed elliptical. Okay, so it comes with those 12 programs. Basically, it comes with beginners levels 1 through 4, or then it comes with advanced levels 1 through 4, or then it comes with sporty levels 1 through 4. So a couple of the different things that the programs do. When you're using the beginner, it focuses on a slow, steady heart rate. Another thing you can do while using the program is set your heart rate. So let's say you don't want to go above 125. It'll go ahead and alert you when your heart rate is above that 125 level. Or let's say that you want to hit a target heart rate of 140. You can go ahead, watch that, check it, and it'll keep track of that for you. With the advanced levels, it's going to go ahead and increase that resistance and increase that intensity. And then for the sporty program, it's more of a fat burning function. So it's going to do a lot of interval style training. The console on this is an LCD screen. It's not a touch screen. It's a backlit LCD screen, and it just shows your basic things. So it has your heart rate, it has your watts, it has your calories, your time, your pulse, and then it also has your BAI. So you can go ahead and check your BAI. I actually found it to be pretty inaccurate. I've done DEXA scans, I've done other things to check my body fat, and this was 9 points off from where I normally am at. So I wouldn't take it as fact, although maybe just use it as a guide. So if you are somebody who's wanting to check your body fat percentages, let's say you're at 29% or 30%, and then as you use it, maybe it drops down to 27%. Obviously, that's progress. So I wouldn't take the BAI measurement as fact. I would just use it more as am I improving? The foot pads on these are very large, and then they have a comfortable grippy cushion on them. So really, honestly, super comfortable, really great. I didn't feel like I was slipping while I was using them, even at the incline. It does go to 20 levels of incline. It moves super smooth, and then also is pretty quiet while I went ahead and used the machine or even raised the incline. Now, the product dimensions on this are 74 inches long, 38 inches wide, and then 68 inches high. The total product weight is 202 pounds, but again, honestly, it didn't feel like a 202-pound deadlift. Because of the way the weight is distributed, the handlebar on the back and then the wheels on the front, you're essentially only lifting half of that weight. The user weight capacity on this is 330 pounds, which meets industry standard. What we like to see is at least a 300-pound weight capacity when we are testing any sort of elliptical or treadmill. Obviously, there are some ellipticals that meet closer to that 350 to 400 range, but you're going to spend a little bit more, closer to maybe a $1,900 to a $2,000 mark. So I do appreciate the 330-pound weight capacity. It meets industry standard, but in all honesty, I do wish it at least hit 350. Now, this elliptical is compatible with a couple different apps. So you have the Fire app that is compatible, the Kino map, and then also the iConsole Plus. You can basically just go ahead and scan a QR code in order to sync up the app to your machine and then obviously to your phone. Now, one thing to consider is that if you get this elliptical, you decide that you do not want it, on the website, it says that you absolutely have to have the original packaging in order to return it. They won't even send you packaging in order to return it. So basically, if you decide to return it, keep that original packaging, otherwise you are stuck with this elliptical. Another thing to consider is that there is a 10% restocking fee, so that will be taken off your total refund. So anytime you do decide to return the machine, you are going to be charged with that 10% restocking fee. On this machine, the assembly was fairly easy. It took our guy 1 hour. He said the directions were very clear. There was no sort of tricks involved with it. It came together really well. So I do think one person can easily assemble this themselves. The warranty on the frame is 3 years. That's pretty decent, although there are some ellipticals that reach more to that 5 to 10 year mark. So just keep that in mind as you're comparing ellipticals if you are in the market for like purchasing elliptical. When you go ahead and purchase this, it is going to take 5 to 7 business days in order for it to be shipped, and then you should receive your elliptical within 2 weeks of your purchase date. Here's just kind of some comparisons. Like, these are my own personal opinions. This comes with a 20-pound flywheel. That is actually a really great flywheel weight, and I would say most ellipticals around this cost point do come with that 20-pound flywheel. However, the Nordic Track is cheaper and the E25 is cheaper from Seoul. And so what am I going to choose between those three? It really just depends if you want to pay that monthly subscription cost. I would say if you do not want to pay this monthly subscription cost, then this is a really good elliptical. I mean, I had no complaints about it. Felt like it was sturdy, functioned really well. I will say that using it wasn't as user-friendly as some of the other ellipticals I've used. I actually had to pull out the directions in order to figure out like how to check my BAI, how to get to the other programmings. But once you have read through it, it is pretty easy. Whereas other ellipticals I've tested, you've just been able to kind of like hop on, it'll guide you through it and it feels really easy. But with the Nordic Track, I like that one a little bit better. However, again, it comes with that monthly subscription cost, which it seems like most people these days are really kind of pushing against paying a monthly subscription. They're like, $40 a month. I just spent $1,500 to $2,000 on a machine, and now I'm gonna have to pay $40 a month in order to use that machine. People are like, no, thank you. And I get that. So if you are looking for a good quality elliptical that doesn't come with a monthly subscription cost, I think that this is really great. Has a long stride length, has a heavy flywheel, the handle rails are really comfortable. It is constructed with steel. Overall, there is no major call outs other than maybe, again, just not as user-friendly as I would like. You know, maybe my call-outs would be that it's not as user-friendly as some of the other ellipticals I would use. And then also something to consider. This company was created in 2018, so relatively, this is kind of a baby company, especially when we compare it to other companies like Nordic Track that have been around a long time. So obviously, we don't know what the longevity of their products are, whereas, again, something like Nordic Track, we kind of have a history, we have a track record of how they run their company and how their products last. So again, just something to consider before you purchase this. But let me know what elliptical you guys like. And if you have an elliptical that we haven't reviewed yet, you want us to check out, leave it in the comments below so we can make sure to do that. This has been Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews.